Well, welcome to the first of, I hope, many video blogs by 10Marketing. And it's a session I'm calling 10 in 10. So 10 minutes of content by 10Marketing, where we're going to focus on marketing topics from the perspective of business leaders. So no marketing talk. This is going to be in very plain language, and it's aimed to help business leaders understand how marketing can help grow their business. So I have my very first guest with me today, and it's Greg Bisch. He is the founder and head of strategy at his own company called Contentr, a marketing consultancy that specializes in content marketing for B2B. And B2B simply meaning businesses marketing to other businesses. So welcome, Greg.
And thank you so much, Nancy.
Thanks for joining me. So with only 10 minutes, why don't we jump right into it?
That sounds great.
And
Let's go.
we'll hold each other accountable to no marketing talk,
Okay,
plain business language only. So
I'll do
let's
my
start
best.
off. Let's start off with at the top with, can you define content marketing in the context of B2B?
So in the context of B2B, I have a lot of experience in the B2B space. It's really about creating content, providing information that has a lot of value to your potential clients and your existing clients. And why you do that is it helps build your reputation with them, but also build a relationship with them so that when they're in the market to buy, you are the first person that they think about. So if you think about a friend that you want to hang with? Who would you rather hang with? A friend who only comes to you when they want something from you or want to sell something to you, or a friend who's there providing you value all the time, and then when you do need something, you do need a service that they have to offer, they are the ones that you're going to want to do business with.
Actually, let's continue down that vein. So if we look at 100% of businesses who are prospectively going to buy from our business leaders, the rule of thumb is at any one time, only 5% are in market.
That's right.
So help people listening understand how content marketing can help progress that 5% of prospective clients who are in market and actively searching.
So the first thing I would say, it would be crucial to start your content marketing before they're in market. But once you've got a base of content marketing done and it's on your website, on your social channels, and we've talked about this before, Nancy, you've got about 10 people making that decision. So those 10 people, despite what the research their company's already doing, they're going to look into you themselves. And who would you rather pick if you're looking at two different companies? Would you pick the company that has only product information and feature, their services and features and things like that? Or would you go with the company that has done some really compelling thought leadership in that space? And by thought leadership, I mean they've taken a look at data and trends in that industry and providing really thoughtful commentary on it.
Mhm.
And then you look further and they have a bunch of education on their website for their clients about how to use their product or service the best way. And not only that, how to solve other related problems for them. So it's really a holistic service mindset that they have. I
Yeah.
know I would rather go with that second company
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. And actually, it speaks really to why I named 10 Marketing, because
Mhm.
buying groups have 10 people. You have to think of everybody and what they need at the right time to help them ease their buying decision. So let's shift and talk about what I would argue is the bigger audience for content marketing, the 95% that are not in market.
52 to 54% of decision makers and execs spend 1 hour a week reading thought leadership. So, and a good chunk of them, 75%, say the thought leadership has led them to consider a product or service they hadn't considered before. So this is how you can take clients that aren't in market, potentially get them in market,
Mhm.
and moreover, start building that relationship with them like we talked about,
Yeah.
so that when they do come in market, they're looking at you first.
So let's start at the top and just talk about content for the sake of just awareness. How do you see, how can that take shape for organizations?
Just off the top, I'd like to mention the how content builds brand. If you're a salesperson and you take the brand off of what you're selling, think of how much more difficult
Hmm.
that would be to sell
Yeah.
if you had no brand behind it. But I would start with educational content,
Yep.
quizzes that get people, like your target audience, thinking about their problems in a different way and in a way that you can help them. Podcasts.
Yep.
I know everybody seems to have a podcast now, but those are incredibly effective if your podcast addresses the needs
Yeah.
of your audience, and you don't actually just have to stick to what your products do. If you stay in the general area of what your service is and talk about that whole area of problem solving, that can people will really be drawn to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then let's move further down the sales process. How can content help drive engagement?
So, social media kind of works all the way along here.
Hmm.
But besides that, one of my favorites is webinars.
Yeah.
If you have a big enough audience that you can have like 30 people, 10 people, 100 people join a webinar, that is a great way for them to and answer questions during that webinar. You can teach them something in that webinar,
Yeah.
walk them through something, and then they get a sense of who you are. I love
Yeah.
webinars for that.
Yeah.
And then on your website, if you could have some guides about how to make these kind of decisions, have them sign up for your newsletter where you
Yeah.
cover not just, again, not just about your products, but different things that they might be want to be aware of in that space.
Yeah. Further down the sales process, we're at decision time, like the decision to buy. Um, how can content really help close the deal?
So I love case studies.
Yeah.
So case studies are telling the story basically from the the potential client's point of view.
Hmm.
So it often involves like a fictional client, but with a real life scenario that many people go
Yeah.
through. So you start out with the challenge,
Yeah.
then you start out with the approach, how your organization would help them with that challenge, and then what is the positive outcome
Yeah.
afterwards. And you really tell that story and include some of the emotions in that.
Yeah.
And that's a really powerful way to say, okay, this company gets me
Yeah.
and they get how to solve this problem, and this is the outcome that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Buying
And
guides are also helpful comparison tools, but I
yeah.
really love case studies.
So, Greg, keeping to our 10 marketing in 10 minutes, let's close off with a final question. So, for the business leaders who are out there who've never undertaken content marketing before, what advice would you give them to get started?
Well, I think the most important part is really understanding your clients and potential clients. That is so essential because if you don't have that, you're going to end up going in the wrong direction. And knowing how you want to influence them. What is the outcome that you're looking for?
Mhm.
And a great way to get started, because you really have to get their buy-in anyway, is talk to your salespeople. They're talking to their clients, your clients every day. They know what your clients' struggles are. They know what your clients' problems are. So figure that out and start putting out content that solves those problems
Right.
on platforms that your clients and potential clients are using.
That's perfect.
Then you really want to figure out where your sources of information are from within your business, who your thought leaders are,
Mhm.
how you can collect some of that information. And really, once you get started, do not get discouraged right away. No one gets 100 people liking their first post.
Mhm.
It takes time, it takes consistency, it takes
Yeah.
months, sometimes years, but it pays off big time
Yeah.
once you get it going.
Yeah, I think I could not agree with you more. It is about consistency. It has
Absolutely.
to be This is playing the long game, and you do have to like consistently commit to the content marketing strategy. So huge thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
Trusting me to be my inaugural guest and sharing your wisdom on content marketing. It was great chatting with you. And for anyone that has any business leaders out there who have questions about content marketing, put them into the chat, and Greg and I commit to answering. So thanks again for joining me.
Thank you so much, Nancy.
Okay.
Take care.